In today's world, women are facing a major crisis, and that crisis manifests as hormonal burnout, adrenal fatigue, stress, anxiety, and weight gain. But the underlying cause is even more insidious, and that is a deep sense of a lack of value, a lack of self-worth. Let me explain what I mean by that. In India, the feminine is often represented as the goddess, and the goddess has three aspects or faces. The first of these is Lakshmī, and Lakshmī rules wealth and prosperity. Anything she touches becomes more prosperous. And she does this just by being who she is. It's not anything special that she's doing, just her very presence alone. And guess what? Women also do this, but they've forgotten their inner Lakshmi. Statistics bear this out. Men, married men, live longer, are healthier, and make more money than unmarried men. This is value that you bring to relationships, not just to intimate relationships, but to family, co-workers, and everyone you come into contact with. The second form of Devi, the goddess, is Sarasvatī. And Sarasvatī embodies culture and wisdom and civilization. You know, there's a saying that goes, if it weren't for women, men would still be living in caves. And you see this on a day-to-day level where your partner or your mother teaches you to wash your feet before you go to sleep, or to clean up around yourself, or takes responsibility for yourself. And on the higher level, women are the indoctrinating and civilizing force in society. And this is the second level of the goddess. The third face of the goddess is Kāli. And Kāli has the power to bless and to curse. And Shakespeare said, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned." But even deeper than that, when a woman is wronged on a deep level, say through abuse or rape, the abuser themselves suffer the curse of that action, which hangs over them like an anvil on a fishing wire, or like a dark storm cloud ready to break at any moment. And when their karma is due, that cloud breaks and they're finished. Which is why in some traditional societies like India and Italy, for example, the power of the woman's blessing and curse is revered. And that's why Italian boys love their mama, right? They take care of their mama because they know she has the power to push them forward in a mysterious way, like grace, because women are in this level agents of the power of nature itself. But today, instead of feeling blessed, women are stressed and looking for rest. And this is why in my books on Dharma, I say that all women are laborers, because the truth is they do the brunt of the work. And again, statistics bear this out. In a relationship with children, women do twice the housework and 3 times the childcare, as well as holding down, very often, a job themselves. And the key for integration for a laborer is to evolve into the merchant. Why the merchant? Because the merchant knows value. They create value and they know their true worth. I want you to think about Marilyn Monroe for a second. Now, this might be a silly example, but just bear with me. Think about how men went crazy, falling head over heels in love with her. Why do you think that is? The secret is that she knew her value, at least in her public persona, and she wasn't afraid to project that. She knew she deserved the best, and when she walked into a room, simply abiding in that state of, I am worthy of the best, she had men tripping over themselves to prove their own value to her by giving her gifts, compliments, by being nice to her, and giving her opportunities. Now, does that mean that you should scheme for the finest diamond rings? No, but it means that you should know in your bones that you deserve them. I'll say that again. You don't have to scheme to get diamond rings, but you should know that you deserve them. Marilyn Monroe in her persona embodied a childlike innocence that says, I'm precious just because. Imagine walking through your life, through any door in your life, and carrying that sense of, I'm worth it and I'm worthwhile. Immediately, you pull people to you who recognize that value. And here's the secret. No one will give you your worth. No one will see you as Lakshmī until you see yourself that way first. No amount of asking your man to respect you, of asking your bosses and co-workers to respect you is going to give you what you want until you give it to yourself. And the problem is that modern women are living their lives trying to be all things to all people so that they can earn that respect and have people see their value. But in doing so, you run yourself down and in essence, you fail to respect yourself. So I'm going to give you 7 keys that you can do right now, starting today, to reclaim your value and reclaim your worth and become the threefold goddess that you are. Step 1 is take a bath. Now I know this may seem silly, but taking a bath sends a huge message both to the people around you as well as to your own body. First, it says, I'm worth this time. I'm worth shutting off the phone, putting it in airplane mode, telling my family, hey, don't bother me, this is my time. This creates a vacuum and makes people want you more. Give them the gift of missing you, even if it's for 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Now, the other message this sends to your body is that it's okay. You can let go, you can relax, you're safe. When your body is in stress mode, which it is when you are constantly in a rush to answer emails, to finish projects, to cook meals, to be everything that you want to be or that you think you need to be to people, your body stays in stress mode, which shuts off your youth hormones. So your skin begins to sag. You begin to put on weight. It shuts off your digestion, so your metabolism suffers. It shuts off your immunity. It shuts off your ability to sleep well. And with all this happening, it's no wonder that you begin to feel ragged, run down, which then feeds into the anxiety and depression and stress. So the first step is to put on the brakes and say, no, I'm okay and I deserve my time. So prescription number 1, take a bath. Do this at least 3 days a week. Look, if a bath is not your thing, then Ayurveda says do self-oil massage, but for 15 to 30 minutes every morning, especially in the winter, and then take a nice warm to hot shower. Whatever it is that you do, give yourself that 30 minutes with expensive bath salts, essential oils, candles, you name it. Make it an event, a feast for your senses, so that your body really gets the message that, hey, I'm safe, and now we can turn on the rejuvenating hormones. We can turn on sensuality. We can turn on a digestion and immunity and my sleep response so that I can rejuvenate and feel like a young girl again. The second recommendation is breathing. Learning how to breathe into the deep lower lobes of your lungs does the same thing for your body as taking a bath, because it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is a fancy way of saying your relaxation, I am safe response. Normally, people go through their entire day breathing in their upper lungs, shallow breaths. This type of breath. Just try this for a second, breathing like this. Notice the state of alertness and paranoia almost that you get in when you breathe like that. Well, the truth is most people who are unconscious of their breathing are breathing these shallow breaths. And again, sending the message to their body and mind, it's not safe. I'm about to die, possibly. And so why would I need to turn on my digestion or my beauty hormones when I need to survive right now? And that's not a way to live. So in another video, I teach you specific breathing techniques that instantly can take you into deep meditative, relaxed state at one with your deeper self. And I share some secrets of the ancient yogis who use these breathing techniques to go right into meditation without having to sit for hours and have your back hurt and so on. So check that video out called How to Breathe. Step number 3 is learning how to eat. If you're eating Big Macs and chips, you're sending the message to your body and mind that that's what you're worth. You're worth $1.99. Your health is worth 50 cents. Treat yourself to quality, not quantity, in your diet. Give yourself the nutrients that your body needs to run optimally. The 4th step is, I call, sacred and sweaty. It's sacred movement. Everything in nature is curvilinear, like a spiral galaxy, or like the spiral in a flower or in a conch shell. Nature moves in curves, in sinuous circular lines, and women are the embodiments of nature. So many classical traditions have created dance and sacred movements that emulate the movement of nature, from hula in Polynesian tradition to Kathak dance in India to flamenco to yoga. These are sacred forms of movement that have you move your hips. And moving your hips, especially in a circular motion, is highly empowering for women because it gets you in touch with your center. It gets you in touch with your core. And this is the first step to self-empowerment and getting in touch again with your value and power as a woman. So, sacred and sweaty, get moving. The 5th step is hanging with wise elders, spending time with women who have the wisdom that can guide you and that can help fill in the blanks for you. Because not I as a man, nor anyone else who hasn't been and walked the path can give you those secret and sacred teachings like a woman who has walked it. So cultivate a sacred society, hang out with women, and they don't all have to be your friends. They can be mentors. They can be any kind of group that cultivates a sense of empowerment for you. Number 6 is cut out stimulants from your life. Now, this is not necessarily for everyone, but for many, many, many women, especially starting out, this is a huge step. Cutting out the coffee, cutting out the green tea, cutting out the other stimulants in your life that help you, they supposedly give you energy, but really rob you of your deep, sensual, physical vitality. And what I mean by that is they give a kind of nervous, superficial energy, but the deep kind of feminine power that you're looking to cultivate is actually robbed when you overindulge in adrenaline-stimulating substances like caffeine. Finally, after creating a daily routine in which you allow yourself time to bathe and luxuriate in self-pampering, in which you take time to breathe, in which you take time to take deep diaphragmatic breaths, in which you value the quality of the food you put in your mouth, in which you spend a little bit of time every day moving in a sacred way, moving your hips and feeling and grounding in your body, and finding ways to hang around wise women, and cutting out the drugs and the stimulants that keep you from being your best self. The final step is to find a spiritual tradition that you can anchor to. And this, you can even be agnostic. Spiritual simply means getting in touch with the silence between your breaths, getting in touch with the silent part of you. And this is certainly something that happens after you breathe deeply just for a few breaths. You immediately create a state of meditation, so it's not even a separate step. But the final step is learn to meditate and set aside time every day to do that. And lastly, if you're a man listening to this, understand that more than any words you say or gifts that you give, appreciating the value, the wisdom, and the blessings that the women in your life are custodians of does more than anything else to create harmonious relationships. And then the compliments you give and the gifts you give, when they come out of that place, give you more than anything you ever dreamed of. Thank you for joining me on this talk. This is Simon. We'll see you next time.